Hi everyone, Melina here, and this is a kind of late-ish May book haul slash I've already acquired quite a few books even though we're only in to June 4 days. So it's kind of a conjoint thing of just a bunch of books that I wanted to haul. These aren't all of the books that I've gotten in May because I can't find some of them because moving and storage, and some of them are already just packed away for room for other stuff. So, but this is what I've gotten here with me. They're kind of all out of the order, but I'll try to remember how much I spent on them because I like remembering that for future reference. So yes, anyways, first one here, I was really excited to find this one. It's Endgame by James Frey and Nils Johnson Shelton. I've heard of this book a lot, like a couple years back, and they used to sell it at Target, and I used to always look at it and be like, I want that. I think it's like a dystopian, similar-ish to Hunger Games. Oh, it's actually pretty shiny. But I found this at Dollar General for $2, so I picked it up. Then here, I have a couple of books that I found in the free bin from Second and Charles. I have the Primarchs, edited by Chris Duncan. I think it's like random, yeah, it's like a bunch of like sci-fi stories put together into like a little book, and it might be a little bit until I pick this up because I'm still in the middle of a sci-fi fantasy story anthology, and I'd never heard of this one before, but I thought it looked cool and it was free, and if I don't like it, I can just get rid of it. So that's here. And then I also have Ruins. It's an X-Files book by Kevin J. Anderson. So there's that. And yeah, I've been trying to collect as many X-Files books as I could find, so I have this one. Then as of recently, like yesterday, I went to Goodwill and I found Fallen by Aaron McCarthy. This is a book about a fallen angel Gabriel, who is in New Orleans, and it's just about him, and it kind of reminded me of the concept of Lucifer, like a fallen angel just kind of free in a big city to do whatever he wants, like drinking, womanizing, all that stuff. And my mom has read this before, and she has highly recommended it to me and everything by this author that she's read so far, so I saw it, $1 at Goodwill. It's like brand new condition, so I was like, why not? Then here I have Spartacus, Swords and Ashes by J.M. Clements. I wanted to get into the TV show because it's on Netflix, and recently I found in the free bin of Second and Charles about a month or two ago the first season, and it was like in really good condition, so I don't know why it was there, but I'm excited to just get into it. I've heard that there is a very cute male-male couple in the show, so I really wanted to pick it up. But I saw this today, actually, at Dollar Tree, for $1, obviously, and when I'm really into a TV show, I usually like having, if it's based off a TV show, or if they came out with one of these kinds of things after, I like having a book to represent it on my shelf, so that, you know, when I have a good shelf setup right now, it's kind of all over the place, but when I have one that you can kind of see also what television I watch based off of the books that I own. And so I picked this up just on the off chance that I end up falling in love with the show, and if not, it was only $1 and I can like trade it in somewhere if I end up not liking it. But I have high hopes for that. So then I also have from the free bin of Second and Charles, Esperanza Rising by Pam Munoz Ryan. My sister read this when she was in grade school, and she said that she really loved this book, and then I saw it there. I wanted to read more Hispanic literature, and this is a middle grade, and it's about a young girl named Esperanza who is from Mexico, and then she has to flee to the U.S., and she goes from like owning a ranch and stuff to like facing racism, and just, it sounds like it's kind of an eye-opening commentary about like what it's like to be Hispanic and in the U.S., and I feel like there's not enough books about that, and it's clearly won some awards, so, well, I'm excited for it. Then here also from the free bin I have American Wife by Curtis Sittenfeld, and it's basically about a woman who is married to the president and kind of just her life and like the kind of drama that entails and all that. I had never heard of it before, but I thought it looked really pretty. It's in pretty new condition, and I like anything political centric. Here I have Simon versus the Homo sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. I hear everyone talking about this. I still need to read it. I might read it this month because it's Pride Month. But anyways, for a little bit, not Second Charles. I've just been on a roll saying that, I guess. Target is having a sale where they have like a little mini wall section of books for $5. So this was one of them, and I was like, I need this, so I got myself a copy. And that one is like one that I'm super excited for, especially because earlier last month, I believe, or the month before, I read The Upside of Unrequited and really enjoyed it, so I'm excited to move on to that one. Also, part of those $5 book deals from Target, I found Nerve by Jeannie Ryan. I've already read this book. I read my sister's copy, because she had the original copy from like way before, like the hardcover that has like a different cover instead of the movie one. I actually like this one slightly better than the original one, and yeah, so I'm pretty excited to just have this in my collection because I read it and I really enjoyed it. I've seen people who were getting this sent around the time that the movie came out and they weren't like really feeling it, but I really enjoy this. It's really fun and quick, and I wanted to have it in my collection, so I picked myself up that too. The only one that's still there for the sale right now that I want, that's like still $5, is An Ember in the Ashes, so hopefully sometime soon before that sale ends I can pick up that book. Anyways, a gift that my mom got me recently that is one of my most anticipated books of the year is Rise of the Isle of the Lost by Melissa de la Cruz. It's the third novel in the Descendants book series that she does. This is basically kind of a prequel to the second movie that is coming out at the end of July next month. So I wanted to read it beforehand. The cover is gorgeous. I've loved all the books so far, and I'm pretty much like almost done with this one. I have like 40 or 50 pages left, so I don't know. And yeah, I'm really enjoying that one. Not even halfway through it. I have probably like what so far, like there's like 10 here, and I have like another like 20. I don't know. Then I have they had a deal going on recently for $5. You could get all the different kinds of Barnes & Noble classic editions that they had there. So my mom got me this one. It's Siddhartha by Herman Hesse. I think that's how you pronounce the name. But yeah, I've been getting really into Buddhism lately, and my mom knew that this was something that I wanted, which is basically kind of like Buddha by Demi that I read earlier last month, but kind of more the widely acclaimed version because it's not the abridged version, it's like everything that you need to know about it, and I am super excited into diving into Siddhartha's story and to kind of make my Buddhism book collection grow and read more of that, and I loved the cover for that because I'd seen a lot of different editions around and I liked that one. Here I have The Lost Kingdom of Mora by Robert Ryan Cruz. This is actually was at my sister's job. I believe that the author is local, and he just left a copy there for whoever wanted to read it, to kind of just get somebody to read it. So I have it. She picked it up for me. She brought it, and I was like, why not? Eventually I'll read it. And yeah, so I have that there. Then I have one that cost me a pretty penny, but I really wanted to get to it, and I'm planning on getting it to it this month for Pride Month. It's October Morning, a song for Matthew Shepard by Lisa Newman. It's basically a collection of poetry from different authors, and they're dedicated to Matthew Shepard, who was basically brutally murdered in a hate crime against gay people. So it's something that I feel like will be very sad and depressing and probably make me cry, but something that I'll be glad that I read, and hopefully it'll be really beautiful. So there's this one. What else? Okay, recently at my library they sell every book that they have on sale there is for $0.25. So my mom picked up for me, I believe. I don't know if she picked it up or I got it. It's called Jake's Thing by Kingsley Amis. or Amis, I don't know. But I don't know why I wanted to read this, but I read like the blurb and I started reading the first few pages and it sounded really funny and interesting. It's basically about a guy named Jake who is at a certain age now and he can't perform sexually. So he's basically going to these different like sex study doctors and trying to see how he can get back to like doing stuff. It kind of reminded me of the whole like concept in some of the episodes that they explored of Masters of Sex, and I figured it would be fun, and if not, it was a quarter. But it originally had the library like plastic on it, but I take those off because I don't like that. Then here I have I have more. I have arcs. So let's get through the arcs. This one is the only one that isn't from this year. It is from December of last year, an arc of The Secret Heart of a Note by Stacey Lee. I had heard of this one. It's a magical realism story about a girl who can make love potions. And that's basically all I know, but since it sounds like mainly kind of contemporary magical realism, I kind of want to just leave it at that, and it's enough to get my attention. Then I believe I have the rest of these organized by release date. Yes. So I have Orphan Train Girl by Krista Baker Klein, and I was confused because I was like, I've seen this book at like Target before and stuff. Why is it an arc like that apparently just came out last month of this year? And then I look and I see, and I like read more of like the little things that they have, and it's apparently a young readers edition of Orphan Train. So this one's called Orphan Train Girl, and I don't know why they've been doing that a lot lately. Like, I heard somebody recently that I was watching in one of their videos, they said that they picked up the Da Vinci Code because it was a nice cover, and then they realized that that was a separate thing entirely. It was one that was made for teens, like a YA version of the Da Vinci Code. I don't know why they're making separate ones. I feel like people, even younger people, could probably comprehend these works, but this was one that I don't know if I would have picked up on my own, so a little simplified version of it I probably will be more inclined to pick up, and it's short, so I just believe it's like about a foster girl who starts like, I don't know, associating with this lady and helping her clean out her attic, and they form some sort of friendship. Then here I have Wild Man by J.C. Geiger? I don't know. But this comes out this month, June 2017, and it is about a boy named Lance who is on his way to his graduation party, and his car breaks down, and he ends up having to go into this random town that he's never been in before, and it's just about him being there and, like, interacting with the people that are there, and I don't know, it sounds really interesting, and it sounds like more exciting than I thought it would be when I just pick it up, because, I don't know, the cover doesn't really grab me, but I'm interested to pick that one up. And then I have Generation 1 by Pittacus Lore. It's the same author that did the I Am Number 4 series, and it's in the same world, but it's the first book in a new series. So I don't know, I haven't read I Am Number 4, I own it and it's somewhere in storage, but I haven't read like the first book, let alone the entire series, so I don't know if I would understand what's going on necessarily, because I believe it takes place after the events of that series, but I don't know. I know a lot of people have problems with Pittacus Lore. I've seen in videos just people having problems with the author and the publishing and all that stuff, but I got like I Am Number 4 years ago. You can usually find the rest of the books in the series like thrifting, and this was obviously for free since it's an arc, so I'm like, why not? I'll try it out. Maybe I'll read it after I read the other ones. And then this one was one that I was really excited about. It comes out September 5th of this year, and it's called If There's No Tomorrow by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and it's basically, I don't really know what the plot is, although it's like a contemporary, so it's best to not really know much, but I've started reading the first couple pages, and it's like a girl waking up in an alley, and she doesn't know like what happened to her, but she knows that like people attacked her or something, and she can't like remember what happened. And I don't know, it sounded really interesting and enough for me to want to keep going with that. Also at the library sale for $0.25 is The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood by Rebecca Wells. The main reason I wanted to read this one is because I believe it is on the Rory Gilmore Reading Challenge list. And again, if I don't like it, it was really cheap, and I can get rid of it. But if I do, then cool. Freebin from Second and Charles, The Boy Who Dared, by Susan Campbell Bartonelli. And it says it's a novel based on the true story of a Hitler Youth, and it's basically a book that takes place in World War II, but it's like middle grade, and I find learning about the Holocaust and reading different books about that like time and different perspectives of that time, whether it's like children or all that different stuff, I think that it's really interesting. So I saw this one for free and I was like, why not? And then let's see, they apparently are rebooting the Boxcar Children, so this just recently came out. I got this for free, and it's by Gertrude Chandler Warner. I never read the Boxcar Children books when I was little, or I believe maybe I read like one, but like never really continued, so I figured that this would be a good chance to kind of see if I liked it in general, because if children's books are written well, even if I read them when I'm old, I'm into them. Speaking of which, my mom got me for like $2 at Second and Charles. I want to collect all of the books that I loved when I was a child, so this is Tales of the Fourth Grade Nothing by Judy Blume. I loved the like Super Fudge series, so I still need that one, and like Fudge Mania, and otherwise known as Sheila the Great, but this is the first one, so I wanted it, and I really want to reread it now because I loved this book so much when I was like in 2nd grade. Because I remember reading Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret by Judy Blume when I was a kid, and I hated that book, so that one was actually one that I wanted to own by her. Also in free bin, Smile by Raina Telgemeier. It's a graphic novel, so I should have probably saved it for my graphic novel haul, but screw it, it's here. But, yeah, I believe it's just about a girl who goes to the dentist to get braces. My sister recently bought this book, and then I found it in the free bin. I think it's mainly because somebody, like, wrote over the title with pen, so, but I don't know, it's there. Also free bin, I have The Silent Wife by A.S.A. Harrison. All I know is that this is a thriller, that's all I really want to know. I've seen this lots of different places, but when I went on Goodreads it wasn't that well rated, so I'm like, screw it, I'll read it and see if I like it. Almost done, 4 books left. Today, I got Breathers by S.G. Brown, and it's a signed copy, and it kind of reminded me of Generation Dead because it's about a guy named Andy who is a zombie, but he still, like, talks and, like, lives life normally, just like somebody just who died and happened to come back shortly after, which is basically what the Generation Dead series is by Daniel Waters. It's a YA trilogy. If you've never read it, you really should, because that's really good. So this one sounded really cute. I got it at Dollar Tree, and also it was signed, so I was like, yes, why not? And, here, I have The Reptile Room by Lemony Snicket. Now I have 7 or 8 of the series of Unfortunate Events books. I'm missing 5 books from the series now. 4, 5, 8, 9, and 13. And once I get all of those, I'll have the entire series. I've read this series already recently, like last year. So this was one of my favorites. Like, the first 5 are like gold, and then, I don't know, it fluctuates back and forth between the ones I like, but I loved this one, and so I'm glad that I finally have it. And that one was $2 at Goodwill. $1 at Goodwill was Waiter Rant by Steve Dublanica. And it's actually blurred by Anthony Bourdain, who's like a guy from the Food Network, if you don't know or don't watch that. But yeah, this, as far as I knew from like reading the first couple pages and the blurb on the back, it's about a waiter who basically is just like mentally judging all the people that come in, like all the patrons. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe he might be gay. So that's also what kind of pushed me to get it, and it's like brand new, it's like perfect condition, so I was like, yeah, I want to get into that. And then this one Found it for $1 at Goodwill, which I was happy about because this one was one that I was eyeing at Second and Charles. It has some stuff on the cover that I might need to clean. I don't know what that is, but it is called Reading Lolita in Tehran, and it's basically about these girls who aren't allowed to read, like, in the area that they live, and, like, in the Islamic culture, they're not allowed to read, and they form a group where they do anyway, and it's them reading Western books, so, like, Lolita, F. Scott Fitzgerald books, Jane Austen, that kind of stuff. So I don't know, it sounded good. I want to read more books that take place in, like, the Middle East, or that focus on, like, hijabi women or stuff like that, so I wanted to read this one. This one was one that I was already planning on picking up for, like, $4 to $6, so getting it for $1 was really cool. Anyways, that's all I have right now. I might find more later and include them in a later haul, like when I get more books this month, but, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you want to see more of my face and my books. Thank you.